one. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Serenial podcast, episode 14. It is Enigma, aka Enigmatic Entertainment, and to my left we have Harv, aka Mega Harv.
How's it going?
And what you been up to this week?
I haven't been up to as much, in a sense, because I'm not streaming. Well, I am a little bit right now, but I've been doing the Phoenix Wright series. I've been doing like Let's Play style videos of Phoenix Wright. So I'm on the third episode right now, and I'm already hooked back into it. Like when I saw that Phoenix Wright was available on the PS4, I got more excited than I thought I would. Because I like the Phoenix Wright games, but I didn't realize how I haven't played one in a while, and how much I actually wanted to play them. I'm like, oh, they're right here. So now I've gotten started doing it's not the worst game to do Let's Play format, because then I don't have to read for 4 or 5 hours at a time, which I think would get tiring, but it's fun. I really enjoy them.
Yeah, man, Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, I guess the full title.
Yep.
I've only played the what was the first 3? Whichever ones were the Game Boy Advance, 1, 2, and 3, I believe. I never played the spin-offs or the ones for the DS, but
right.
I feel like that's because I missed the DS as a console overall. I never got a chance to try them out. But if they remaster or port over the rest of the series, I probably will wind up getting them on the PS4 or the Switch or the PS5, wherever they put them at. Looking forward to that. Well, but they're a pretty good series.
Oh yeah, I think it's the first 3. Well, it's Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. I've beaten Justice for All, and I've played half of Trials and Tribulations, but this one has all 3, so I'll get to experience them all again.
Trials and Tribulations. Okay, wait, that was one of the DS ones. I don't think I played that one.
How's it going, Bright Foxes? Yeah,
I don't think so.
Trials and Tribulations I ended up playing on the Wii store. But I got halfway through it, and then I forget why I stopped playing it. It wasn't from lack of interest. That might have been right when I started uploading to YouTube again.
I did play. I'm looking at it right now. I actually did. No, I did play. I thought they were titled just 1, 2, and 3. I didn't know it was Justice for All Part 2 and Trials and Tribulations Part 3.
Right.
So yeah, I did play them. It's been years, but I thought they were on the Game Boy Advance. Although they originally were on the Game Boy Advance.
First one was for sure. Justice for All I played on the DS. I don't know if there was a Game Boy Advance version. I know they eventually ported the first Phoenix Wright to DS, and they might have added a case.
No, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says they ported all 3 of the first ones to DS, but they were originally Game Boy Advance. For Japan, they were Game Boy Advance only, and then they released them everywhere else and put it on the DS. So that explains why.
Okay.
That explains it. So I played the Game Boy Advance ones, but I played them on DS, emulator or something like that, probably. Right. But it's been some years. But yeah, I played the first. I never played the ones after that, like Apollo Justice and the spin-offs that stuff and Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah,
but I'm sure they're all very similar,
Oh yeah, if you like them, if you like one, I'm sure you'd like the other ones too.
Definitely.
I'm a little more intrigued right now in Dual Destinies because it's M-rated for some reason. Just curious
Dual
why.
Destinies.
It might be.
That's one of the other ones. Right?
Yeah. Well, I know part of it was they went from having the sprites to actual 3D models for the game. So I don't know if it's just that was enough to push it over the top. But I'm just intrigued by the concept.
Oh, Dual Destinies is the one. That's the first one for the 3DS, I believe. I think they switched to the 3DS for that one. Or no, well, in the main series, because the other one was a spin-off, Professor Layton and versus Phoenix Wright or something like that.
Yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah.
I heard there's one where it's 100 years ago.
I think it's I think so.
I don't know if it's any of the Layton ones. I have no idea. I've just heard about this in the past month maybe.
might be. It might be Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I'm not really sure, but I believe that's basically one of the spinoffs, though. I think the main series is just the ones where you play as like Phoenix, I believe.
Yeah.
I think the characters. I think those are all considered spinoffs of the series. But I mean, the same overall like freaking idea as far as the gameplay goes.
Yeah,
you know?
It's like someone
Still
got murdered.
basically
Figure out the murderer.
Yeah, isn't that something about the Ace Attorney series? From what I remember in 1, 2, and 3, I don't know if they changed it in later ones. I feel like the crime is always somebody got killed. Do they ever change it from murder?
Not that I'm aware of. But
it's like maybe. in the Ace Attorney realm, it's like the only crime that we go to court for is murder. That's it. It's like, does no one do anything else?
Like there's,
you know what it seems.
There is like one of the parts I just did. Like one of the characters was doing something illegal, but like the prosecutor's like, this has nothing to do with the case, so leave her alone, type of thing. So it's like they acknowledge other crimes, but you just never have to deal with it, I guess. That I know of.
Yeah, it's like other crimes do exist, but
yeah, you think
it's not as important, so whatever.
Yeah, like you couldn't have just started out with, you know, some petty thief and work your way up to murder. Just like, no, like first image in the game is you see a statue of the Thinker and it's just like dripping in blood, and then you see like a woman with like blood coming out of her head. It's like, okay. And it just kind of
they go they go right into it, you know. It's like they don't even warm up like, oh yeah, we have to catch this crook, he's been robbing banks or anything like that. It's just like, oh no, straight starting off murder. It's like, whoa, okay. Yeah. Like,
where do you go from there?
You know, it's kind of just more murder. That's it. Just more they just make it more intricate like every time.
You know some the person who got murdered this time.
Yeah, it's like this time, it was like your best friend or something like that, and he's the what do they call it? The defendant. It's like, what? Have you finished the first? Which ones did you finish yet? Or are you still working on the first one?
I've beaten the second one. But like I've watched the fourth case of the first one. The rest of it's brand new to me. And Trials and Tribulations, I beat the first 2 cases maybe.
All right. Yeah, because I remember some of the cases, but I don't remember like which game was which.
Right.
So if I just tossed the case, I wouldn't know if it was the first, second. They kind of do. Like, I remember one took place at a circus. That was pretty crazy. I forgot if that was 1, 2, or 3, but that was Justice for All?
Yep.
That's the third one, right? Or the second?
Second one.
Okay, that case to me, I remember that stood out a while. I was like, this is nuts. Like, murder is taking place everywhere. You know?
Is that the one where like a tiger bit someone's head, or do you remember? You still there?
Yeah, I think. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm here. No, yeah, Tiger. I think it was involved in it some way. It was nuts. This Phoenix Wright series overall is one I recommend. I'm wondering if they're making a new game. I think it's been a while. Like what? Maybe.
I think
2 or 3 years. Maybe
it's been a while. Yeah,
I have to check.
I want to check too. But like they're worth playing. Like when I first heard about them, I'm like, "What? How would this be interesting?" Like just you solve crimes, point and click. But then I watched that case that I saw, and I'm like, "Oh, this is extremely compelling." I see. And I love the facial expressions, like especially when like the murderer is caught without a shadow of a doubt. Like their mental breakdowns they have. Oh my god!
Fabulous. Oh man, they start like
foaming at the mouth and stuff. Like it's great.
They go pretty crazy. It's nuts.
Oh,
they're like,
it's great.
They're just tripping. I'm like, are they okay? The hell?
Yeah.
But no, apparently the Great Ace Attorney Adventures is the newest game in the series. It says it was released in Japan in 2015.
Okay.
And then the Great Ace Attorney was released in Japan in 2017, and now they're going to be released here in next month. Actually, nice. Okay. The Great Ace Attorney. I never heard of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, and then the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is going to be both 1 and 2 together, like a compilation. It says that's going to be out next month.
Well, I picked a good time to start playing the first couple, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell, you can go through the whole series. You know.
I mean, if If I'm not like tired of reading at that point.
Oh man,
But like
going through visual novels, it's nuts. Especially when you're doing it back to back from
yeah.
one in a series to the other.
Well, I plan on breaking up the Phoenix Wright games with like stuff in between them just to give me that break from the constant reading, but I think I'll be
definitely.
into it.
Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta have a break in between, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny actually. I was speaking about visual novels just earlier. Today is the release of Ratchet and Clank. Well, people that got it digitally, of course, at midnight, but
yeah.
I went to pick it up, and the person I was talking to in the store, we was talking about visual novel games. Actually, they was like, "Oh, I pre-ordered some visual novels," and I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Which ones?" I'm actually interested. I haven't played a new one in a while, and we just had a quick back and forth while I was picking up my game. They mentioned they mentioned 2 or 3 titles they said I should check out that was just recently released or was coming out soon. Zenkai Zero, I believe, which I said I haven't heard of. I got to check that out. And they said Root Film, which is a spiritual successor of sorts to Root Letter. And I never played Root Letter yet, but I still got to get on that. But visual novels have, for the past 5 years or so, have just really been something I've been into, or 6. It's a genre of game that doesn't get a lot of love because for like the fans out there that like gaming just for like things like the action, they're not going to enjoy visual novels at all because they remind them too much of reading books, which is
book. Yeah,
exactly. I have a friend who never plays visual novels. He refuses. He plays anything but not visual novels. I've told him, try it. It's amazing storytelling. The music is good. The characters are great. Try it. He flat out refuses. He says, "I'm not reading a book as a video game," and I'm like, "You're missing out, dude. You're really missing out."
I think that's a good. I think that style is a good one to sample through like Let's Play format first, anyway, because then you can kind of get a taste of it, and if you're like, "I actually really like this," then you can just play it yourself once you're done. Hey, Vile, how you doing?
No, definitely. Oh, hey man, what's up, Vile? Freaking yeah, like looking at a Let's Play, it's kind of that's one of those games where people don't mind watching Let's Plays because you're basically reading the book anyway. So there's not much variation to where you have to play it yourself.
Right. But you still
if you just want the full experience. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like that's how I got into Phoenix Wright. Like I watched one of the cases and I'm like, oh, I'm actually interested in this. Then I saw one at a flea market and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play it myself. And I never would have played it otherwise. So.
My introduction to what was your introduction to like the platform? I mean, the genre was it Phoenix Wright?
I would say so. Yeah. I don't think I ever played one like that before.
My first one was on my Vita. Actually, I played. What was it? Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. When I first bought my Vita, I was looking for games. I went through the whole PlayStation Store on the Vita looking for demos. Got Virtue's Last Reward, and I was like, "This is pretty cool. It's an adventure / visual novel, like point and click, solve puzzles, like what's going on, this whole mystery." And then I was like, "I got it instantly," and it just introduced me to Danganronpa and Steins Gate, and from there it was just like this whole world, a whole new genre of video games opened up to me. And that was like, years ago.
And like if I work through all the Ace Attorney games, and I think Danganronpa would be another one for me to seriously consider.
Oh man, definitely. They're all available on the PS4 now. Actually, I believe all the games in the series. I think they ported over at this point. The series started out on the PSP initially, and then went on the Vita and PS4. Pretty much, might even be available on the Switch. I'm not sure.
Isn't there a bunch of visual novels on the Vita?
Oh man, the Vita has the most. I mean, nothing has more than like PC. But I mean, out of like a console, the Vita has pretty much the most visual novels, I'd say. The Switch is catching up there now. But yeah, man.
I could see that being a popular genre for like portable systems, especially.
Yeah, for the Vita to be like this big and whatnot. I used to just like for hours, I would just lie in bed and just stare up like this, just reading, going through different games like Danganronpa and Zero Escape and Utawai Mono and It's even introduced me to new anime series because some of them have like anime tie-ins and whatnot,
Okay.
so, adaptations. So it's pretty cool, you know. Oh man, that's funny. Back then, I didn't really care about Phoenix Wright. Who the heck wants to play as a lawyer in a game?
Right, that's what I thought.
Someone let me borrow the first game after the prologue and a little of the second case.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
I pretty well can relate to that. When I first heard of Phoenix Wright, it's like, why would I ever want to play this game? Until, like I was saying earlier, like I watched one of the cases and I'm like, oh, this is like actually like really compelling.
Immediately returned the game and purchased all 3 on the DS. Hell yeah, man!
Yeah.
Like they're really compelling. I guess is the best way I could put it. Like I'm intrigued, I'm enthralled, like deeply invested in like how do you solve it. It is also one of the harder ones, like trying to figure out those cases.
Oh, some
without
of that's
die or something.
Yeah, because you have
like
hit points, kind of. I had like when I played through the second one, I had to use a walkthrough. Like there was just some points I'm like, I don't understand what you want me to do, and then they would point it out. I'd be like, why didn't I see that?
Because it's the only problem is they're so particular sometimes with exactly what they want you to, what exact phrase or sentence they want you to pick, and in what order they want you to do it. Oh, it has to be that one first, and then that one. Then you have to jump back and go to that message and use this. I'm like, what?
I had an issue with that. Yeah.
The ordering sometimes was an issue, like in what they wanted you to like, what they wanted you to pinpoint exactly first, second, and all that stuff.
Well, like the last episode I just did, they're like, they wanted me to, I forget what it was they wanted me to point out, but what I noticed was like the witness on the stand was like, so-and-so ran to the right away from like the weapon, but like you have a layout of the area, and like where all the stuff was broken was on the left-hand side. So it's like, okay, well there's the fault in the logic. Like they went to the right, but the struggle was to the left. But the game's like, no, that's not evidence. I'm like, well, what do you want from me? But then it was something else that did also make sense, but like that just made more sense to me. It's like, this clearly doesn't add up. What do you mean there's no contradiction here? Oh, I'm just not supposed to figure this out yet. I see. So like that's kind of frustrating, but
yeah, that thing, like I figured out this part, but it's like no, they want you to pinpoint this first, and it's just like, but why? Like you know what I mean? It was too stringent.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
because when you're like, but I see this part, it's just really frustrating.
I heard they're finally going to release a 2-part prequel to Phoenix Wright about his ancestor from 100 years. I also want to report Miles Edgeworth games 1 and 2 to the other game, Lawyer Apollo. Yeah, I've never played the Miles Edgeworth game, like either one of them, or Apollo Justice, I believe it's called. I've only played the first 3, like where you just play as like Phoenix and whatnot.
I only just recently heard that there was Edgeworth games, like just like this week I heard about it. I had no idea those existed.
Yeah, he has. I think. Well, I mean, I believe Miles said that he has 2. I believe they're for the DS, maybe.
Probably.
I think they're the DS. Yeah.
DS, 3DS, one of those. I'm sure.
I wonder. So he plays it. He changes from a prosecutor to a defense lawyer, I assume.
I think he's still a prosecutor, but I'm not sure how that works. Like within the context of like dramatic storytelling, it seems strange for the prosecutor to be a good guy, but I guess if you played them, it would probably make more sense. It just makes more natural sense to be like the good guy is the defendant, but depends how they do it, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, I guess he is still a prosecutor. I thought he had changed to a defense attorney. I mean, but I guess not.
Maybe he did. But I really don't know. That would make more sense to me if he did.
Yeah. But oh man, you know what this weekend is? Freaking, we cannot let it go by. It is freaking E3. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Still the 12th to the 15th.
That time of year again.
Oh man, this is what video gamers freaking wait for, and of course developers and publishers too. but I like pulled up the schedule. Apparently, Ubisoft is going to be Saturday. They're going first. I'm surprised a little bit. I mean, my personal feelings on Ubisoft are kind of like, at this point, kind of blah, honestly.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
I feel kind of similarly about Ubisoft. Like, I know they're like a fairly accomplished company, but what do they even make that I care about?
Yeah, I mean, they are very freaking big now. Like, I mean, but I don't play any of their games anymore, personally.
Yeah, like the last game of theirs I probably played was one of the South Park games.
They did do the South Park games, didn't they?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. All right, those ones are pretty good.
I'm sure they've done others like recently that I probably been like, if I played, I'd be like, oh, okay. But yeah, Vile saying announced X9, I agree with that.
They published it. Okay, yeah, they were a publisher for the South Park games,
right?
But I mean,
but like I don't know what else they do. Who's Far Cry? Like they must do something that's like a series that people care about these days. They're so far off my radar, Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, as far as the publisher goes, they're behind a lot of series. To be fair, Just Dance, Rayman, Far Cry.
Oh, they were Far Cry.
Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia.
Okay. Well, Assassin's Creed
and
itself.
Well, Assassin's Creed is like their number one series, probably. And Tom Clancy. Clancy, Ghost Recon, The Division.
Yeah, they did all of those.
Splinter Cell, all of that stuff.
Splinter Cell. Remember that back 100 years ago.
Yeah. No More Heroes, all that stuff. It's a lot, honestly. Like it's a freaking list. You could read it off for days, you know. They're behind a lot of stuff. But the only thing they're behind that I really play is like Rayman, and it's been a few years, I believe, since they released a Rayman game.
I have,
you know, like Rayman Legends.
Not sure if I've ever actually played a Rayman game. Somehow.
No way.
Somehow.
That's crazy. Oh, Watch Dogs. Yeah,
I can't even use the excuse of like it was only on PlayStation because it wasn't. Like it was on N64. I could have played them, but I didn't.
Yeah, Rayman 1 was on like PlayStation 1, I think, and freaking Rayman series got around. Rayman 2, I believe, is the one that was. Rayman 2 got a version for like every console in that time frame. Like Nintendo 64, the PC, the Dreamcast, the PlayStation, the PlayStation 2, the Game Boy Color, the DS. I'm like, they put it everywhere they can. But The Great Escape, that was probably it was the first 3D one. Because the first one was a 2D like side scroller platform, basically. But I mean, hell, that was one of my favorite games growing up, probably like Rayman 2. Like that was classic.
I should still play it. I'm such a curmudgeon when it comes to starting up. Like, if I know there's an established series and I haven't played it, it's like, do I have the attention span for a new series? But then I would just play it and be like, oh, this is great. But
that's what happens sometimes. It's like when I went back and started playing the Ace Attorney games, I was like, wow, this is a pretty old series. Like, wow. But I was like, but wow, I really enjoy it. So I was like a little bit surprised.
Phoenix Wright's graphics definitely hold up well. Like they don't. The way that they have the the 2D sprite work and stuff. Big.
Hell, I mean, yeah. Luckily, especially since it was a visual novel and it wasn't like an action oriented kind of game.
Right.
Games like that, I feel like really. They don't like stand out as much as being outdated,
Right. Agreed.
But that's for sure. But yeah, Ubisoft. It's called Ubisoft Forward. Apparently, it's at 3 p.m. EDT, so Eastern time.
Right.
That's pretty cool. I wonder what they're gonna have besides, next Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, okay. Oh my god. Thanks. Oh, they probably will have Far Cry news. I've heard. I don't personally play the Far Cry series. Have you played Far Cry?
No, but I've definitely heard rumblings of like a Far Cry 6 or something.
Yeah, that's probably what people are waiting for. Far Cry 6, maybe a new Rainbow Six game, perhaps.
Maybe.
And probably Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has only gone, I think, 2 years or so without releasing like a game in like over 10 years.
And wasn't there like one year where they released 2?
Yep, 1 year they released 2. So I mean, hell, that kind of makes up for it.
So that's kind of it's good streak going, depending on who you ask, I guess. Like if you're into them, then like
it is impressive.
Pump them out every year. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, because they must. I mean, for every year they must have teams working on 2 or 3 of the games at a time. You know?
Yeah, round the clock.
Like at least that's pretty nuts. It says only Ubisoft is going on Saturday for the events. Sunday though is packed. It says the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase. They're really driving it home that like Xbox bought them, I guess.
I mean, that's a huge purpose, but I could not care less about Bethesda. I really can't.
Yeah. What were they behind? Honestly, isn't it just like Elder Scrolls or so?
As far as
Elder Scrolls and what's the other series behind?
Fallout.
I gotta check. There we go. Thank you, Fallout. 2 series that I just don't play at all. Yeah. I've never had an interest in Bethesda personally. But I mean, they make like I guess some of the Western RPGs like Fallout and Elder Scrolls.
But I imagine
Xbox and Bethesda have a showcase tomorrow.
Microsoft is going to want them to drop a bombshell.
Oh man, definitely. They just bought them 2020? What is it? I believe last year.
If that, it was
or the year before. Yeah, definitely. Like I wonder what they have in stock. I mean, in store because I remember the thing was they were saying, "Oh, we might make the new Bethesda games exclusive. We might not at first." That's what they were saying. And then suddenly it switched some months later to like, oh yeah, Bethesda games are going to be exclusive to Microsoft now. And it's just like,
well, of course.
Well, it's kind of like,
why wouldn't they be?
That was kind of,
you don't spend billions of dollars on a company.
Yeah, I mean, but even if they wanted to make it a multi-platform, they would still probably profit off it. They would have to have a licensing agreement with, Nintendo or PlayStation or whatnot, and they'd make money off that. Overall, I'd say so. Why not?
Yeah.
But I am curious. I mean, I don't have the new Xbox, so whatever they put out, neither here nor there. The one that is interesting, though, right after Bethesda, Square Enix. Well, now that is what I would look forward to.
I imagine they're going to have something to say about Dragon Quest 12 and maybe a little more to do with Final Fantasy 16. But like beyond that, I have no idea what Square's up to right.
Yeah, they might mention Final Fantasy 16 because I don't believe they've mentioned anything about it at all except for like the beginning of the year, I believe it was.
It's been a while.
When they showed us a trailer for 2 minutes, I believe, and
something like that.
And it might be coming out like in the next 2 or 3 sometime. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be out like next year,
probably
at the earliest. Maybe the year after if it gets delayed.
Hopefully by the time I get a PS5, that'll help me. Well, like I'll get one when I can get one at retail. It's just whenever that'll be.
Yeah.
I would like one by the end of the year, but I'm not gonna bust my back to get one.
Oh no, definitely. Like I mean, if it has to be a system seller if to make you want to push for it more,
Yeah.
But I am curious on what they would put out.
There's some stuff I'd play on the PS5 at least. But yeah, Square's always working on some wacky, like not third party, but like just some sort of spin-off, whatever.
It might be might be Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode 2 or whatever they're going to call it.
Don't talk so crazy.
They might. We can only hope, No,
that would be. I would be stoked if we got an actual release date for that.
Oh man, because they remember at one point I forgot who it was. I think someone from Square Enix said that one of the people working on it, like the writer or director or something. They said that they were going to be making the upcoming parts smaller,
I'm fine with that,
so they can put out more parts of the game. I think that's going to be paying a lot of money because if they divide it into 5 parts, for example,
Yeah.
because some people are like, well, is it going to be 3? Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 5? Is it going to be 2? You know, at this point, if they're making smaller parts so they can get them out quicker, I feel like they're going to make it like a 5 or 6 episode kind of lengthy thing now
7.
at this point, you know?
What I think they'll probably do is...
oh, man. Yeah.
I can't help but feel at this point that whenever they get to the end of, like, their Final Fantasy VII story, like, it won't be the end. It'll just transition into, like, this is what happens after the world is saved or whatever. Like, I think they're going to try to, like, keep it going. But yeah, I feel like 7 parts would just make sense for them to do.
7 parts of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I didn't even think about that. I feel like that's too much, but
I agree.
That might be something they do.
Depends how
they
much
would have
it
to
sells.
put the parts out. They would have to put the parts out sooner, though. They can't do like 1 part every 3 years because I'll be freaking.
Not a chance.
I'll be 40
50.
by the time they finish that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, man! It'll be on the PS6.
Unless they can bang them out 1 a year, forget it.
It has to be 1 a year or a year and a half, maybe. But
yeah,
if there's like 3 or 4 years between parts, then that's way too much. That's just ridiculous because people are not even going to have PlayStation. I mean, in what console would they do it on? If they take too long, they're going to.
Right. It's like, look, Final Fantasy VII, I'm tired of buying consoles for you.
I mean, the next part, do you even think it'll be on the PS4, like, available? I think it will, but, I mean... It might be a PS5 exclusive.
I would think so, but, like, the fact that the Yuffie DLC isn't makes me think that... Unless they make it available for PS4, like, months later.
Oh, yeah, the Yuffie DLC is not available for PlayStation 4 players. That is something that kind of does make you think, well, is part 2 going to be available?
Right.
If they're doing this with the DLC already,
right.
Who knows?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's not good. I mean, because a lot of people haven't been able to get their hands on a PlayStation 5 yet.
Yeah, I just don't get it from a business standpoint, considering there's like, what, 100 million PS4 sold?
Yes, indeed. I believe 100 and something million. Yeah. And for the PS5, I think it's what, 5 million.
I know it's not. I know it's not 100 million.
It is ridiculous. But they're going to sell more. They have to ramp up production. They said to do a redesign so they can, because the materials that they need is hard to find at the moment. So they're going to use other materials.
It's just like.
That should help get more consoles out there and be a blow to the scalpers that haven't sold their product yet.
Well, eventually they'll hit their tipping point, and then either scalpers are going to be sitting on a bunch of PS5s, or they're going to have to start liquidating them.
Oh, definitely. After Square Enix, Square Enix might announce more of their remasters. I mean, they already released Saga Frontier 1 remaster. They might maybe announce Saga Frontier 2 remaster.
Maybe.
Possibly. Or maybe, like you said, Dragon Quest.
Yep.
And also Legend of Mana Remastered comes out, I believe, next month.
Any time now, yeah. I'm sure that'll
get about a month now, Legend of Mana. So they might have some more stuff on their remasters, and maybe some more information about Final Fantasy 16 or 7 Remake Episode 2 or Part 2 or whatever. Hopefully. Or it might be something completely different. Maybe Avengers. They're behind Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe have more DLC talk or something like that.
Maybe they'll surprise us and give us I don't even know what you would call the trilogy, but Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma. Like, to release that as a trilogy, that would be actually a pretty big surprise. Because Terranigma was never released out here.
Wait, which?
Soul Blazer. I don't know if you've ever heard of any of these games, but it was originally Enix, but Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma, which we didn't get here. It was only released in Europe for some reason. And Japan, but we never got it stateside. Oh yeah, and Ever Crisis.
Nah, I've heard of those series, actually. I never played them.
I love Illusion. Sure. Illusion of Gaia is...
But hell, 40 more games or whatever.
They're worth playing. Like, Illusion of Gaia's, like, sprite work is fantastic. Terranigma is arguably... It's arguably the better game. I only played half of it. And, like, it seemed good. I think if I played it from beginning to end, like the story would have been really like compelling. But like the way that I played it, I just was wandering around lost a lot. But like for it to be released
Nah, really.
out here officially would be kind of a big deal. I would like
Hey,
to
if it
see
makes
it.
sense for them money wise, I'm sure they'll probably do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since they've
Sometimes they
re-released
bring back
like
old games.
Seiken to Tensu 3 over here, and well, I mean, maybe that's the only one off the top of my head that wasn't out here originally, but
It's always possible.
can dream.
Oh wow! I'm so happy that Tetsuya Nomura is not involved on Final Fantasy 16.
So
Don't forget Final Fantasy 7 Evercry episodic mobile game that covers the entire compilation of 7. Not only will it cover episode on First Soldier, they will have an exclusive episode on the younger Sephiroth. That's pretty cool.
I do keep
I don't
forgetting
really
about
play the mobile
Evercrisis.
games, but
I would play
that's
it. I
interesting.
just never think of it. That might be
Avengers is
worth
failing
streaming.
hard. Oh wow! I
That
played
came
the
out at,
demo
like-
or the open beta or whatever, but I never bought the game.
I think the Avengers
Avengers
game came
was-
out at just the wrong time. Like I think it came out like
Oh,
right
really?
when like I forget, but didn't it come out like right as like Endgame was coming out? Like and like the comic
No.
book stuff was like at its peak.
It came out last year actually, so it came out after Endgame. Like
Okay.
maybe it came
So
out.
yeah, too
It
late.
came out after Endgame though. But yeah, maybe if they released it earlier, but then of course it might have been more buggy and whatnot.
Yeah,
So it was like hit or miss when it comes.
I'm
to
for
stuff.
sure not saying rush it, but like I think it was just kind of like a victim of circumstance. Like it's a huge IP for them to get. I'm sure the game's fine, but I think after Endgame, a lot of fans of the like just the movie universe is like, okay, it's been 10 years. I need a break.
Yeah, I heard it was problems with like the game and play itself. Like there was bugs and glitches and things of that nature, which made it, kind of an issue. And then when you have things at a beginning with a game like that, because it plays like Destiny and like Division, I guess, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. When you have it's messed up at the beginning, that really hurts the momentum. So
yeah.
even when you fix it, sometimes you still lose players.
Right.
Just
And it's crazy.
moved
'cause,
on already.
like, you would think
and they-
Square Enix would know better, but Marvel is probably like really pressuring them to get it out too.
Perhaps who knows?
Sure
Who
it has
knows
a
when it comes
massive
to that?
license.
Definitely. Who's after Square Enix? Warner Brothers.
What
Really?
do they even make?
What games are they behind? Besides, aren't they only behind like Batman? As far
I
as
was
I know?
just gonna say, like, are they the Arkham games? Unless there's a new Batman game.
I'm trying to think of other games.
I have no idea.
I don't know what other games are behind either. Honestly, like only thing that comes to mind is like Batman and Justice League, Injustice, maybe or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like DC Universe. They had. I remember Batman, Arkham. What else? Yeah. Oh, and the Legos games.
Oh, of course.
Like Lego Star Wars, Lego Marvel. Lego this and that. What would they have else? Probably Batman.
Probably.
Oh, they have Lord of the Rings too. Okay, and Harry Potter. Huh. It's probably gonna be that new Batman game. I heard next year they're releasing a new Batman game called Gotham Knights.
Yeah, I heard something about that too. Now you mention it, but there's a new Batman something.
Yeah, a friend told me about it like a while back. He said he was looking forward to it. It's going to be out for like the PS4, the PS5, and Xbox and stuff. You get to play as Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood. Apparently, like
Okay.
Batman's teammates
His
or
entourage,
sidekicks
yeah.
or whatever you call it. Yeah, you play as them instead of Batman.
That's
So
interesting.
that's why it's Gotham Knights.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's going to be a multiplayer game this time. It's like a co-op,
Nothing wrong with that.
I believe, kind of thing. I take that. It's like a co-op Arkham Asylum or Arkham City kind of thing.
Right.
That looks kind of seems kind of fun. I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised as long as it doesn't have like a whole bunch of like delays and whatnot.
Right.
Like these games have been having a lot lately. But looking forward to it.
I didn't know Warner's owned Mortal Kombat at this point.
They do?
That's
They
what
own Mortal
Dial said.
Kombat? Oh, wow. Wait, let me... Oh, wow, yeah. Mortal Kombat is on this list, too. Jeez.
Okay,
I did not know they
strange.
own...
No.
I didn't know
knew
they had
like
pretty,
Midway. It used to be Midway, but then like they went under, and I guess Warner Brothers must have bought them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I wonder what else besides like a Batman or something like that game they can announce. But I mean,
didn't they just release? When did the last Mortal Kombat come out? I couldn't imagine we're getting another one yet.
Yeah, I doubt it. The last Mortal Kombat game came out, I think, about like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
That was 11
yet. I wouldn't.
That was. Yep, 2019.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't get one for another like
2-3 years.
2 years, something like that. But they only have a very short. It says they're only going live for about half an hour. So yeah, they're probably only going to announce 2 games or maybe DLC or something like that, possibly. So yeah, that makes sense. And then last for Sunday is the PC gaming show right after Warner Brothers.
Okay. That could be all over.
I don't game on PC like at all, so I mean that could be anything. Like who knows?
Oh yeah.
That's not a specific like even publisher.
Right. I'm sure it might be like an indie showcase or like just big title, like big PC title. I just don't even know what those would be.
Yeah, I can't even think of any except for like StarCraft, like freaking World of Warcraft. I'm like, I don't know what else rings bells right now.
MMO.
Yeah,
not on consoles.
Then Monday, the 14th, they have Take-Two Interactive, 2K Games, 2K Sports, and Rockstar Games. It says they have a panel. Oh, okay. Take-Two, they do 2K Sports. They do all those sports games and whatnot. And Rockstar Games is of course Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, right? Yep. And then Take-Two, 2K Games. What do they do? 2K is Borderlands, right?
That sounds right.
I'm gonna double check, but right now I'm thinking Borderlands. 2K Games. Yeah, Borderlands. Definitely freaking. Oh, mid Sid Meier's. I freaking got that backwards. Sid Meier's Civilization. I forgot. Yeah, that's Take-Two also. Yeah, they have a whole bunch of games.
Sid Meier's was Civ. I knew they had like the Pirate Simulator. I didn't realize it was Civilization also.
NBA, Major League Baseball, all that stuff, the MLB. Right. But basically the only ones that stand out to me is, freaking Bioshock. I forgot about that as well.
Oh, they did Bioshock?
Yeah, 2K Games apparently.
Oh.
That wasn't the series I was interested in personally, but maybe they're having another Bioshock game. The last one the last one they had was Bioshock. They remastered it basically. That was even a few years ago. Maybe I forgot some of this stuff might be remasters of remasters at this point now that it's a new console generation.
Right.
They just announced a remaster for PS5.
I mean, like after a certain point, it's like, do the remasters really need a remaster? Like once you bring something from 2D to 3D and it looks good, does it really need to be like 8K, 120 frames? Like at what point is it good enough?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I guess every 3 console generations, I don't know, who am I to judge? But like if it's done well, who cares? But like I feel like there doesn't need to be a rush to get like remasters out.
No, only really more so mainly for the people that haven't gotten to play it, like the new generation of gamers and whatnot that might have missed it because they couldn't afford it or they didn't have the time or it just completely escaped them. And in that regard, it's good. But for me to buy the same game, I bought it at $40, then to buy it again at $50, then buy it again at $60, then to buy it now at $70. I'm just like, I don't know about that. Really, am I that interested in it still?
Do I need 4 copies of the same game? Not really.
I can name on probably 2 hands or less the amount of games that I've played and beaten from start to finish more than twice. It's not. There's not that many games that have held my attention that much.
Right. Especially once you start getting into like longer, like not even an RPG necessarily, but like any sort of like 20-hour long adventure, like it's a time sink to
Especially,
revisit
yeah.
any of these.
Bioshock was good, says Vile.
Yeah.
Hey, I know people really did enjoy it. I mean, it just wasn't really for me. I remember watching my friend play it one day years ago on the Xbox 360, and I just kind of fell asleep watching him play. Honestly, I just was not intrigued.
I know I got.
I was kind of knocked out and woke up like, "You're still playing?" Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
I know I got
right.
Bioshock kicking around somewhere.
Oh man! After Take-Two Interactive is Capcom's news conference.
Okay, Capcom, give us another Mega Man game already.
I don't know what Capcom has to announce. I mean, they just released Resident Evil. That's like and they released Monster Hunter Rise for the Switch.
I mean,
which,
unless they're gonna talk about Phoenix Wright, because that's Capcom.
Capcom's upcoming and officially announced lineup includes the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Resident Evil 4 for Oculus VR, and Pragmata. Really? Okay. Monster Hunter Stories 2, I don't even know what that is. I
haven't played any Monster Hunters. I don't know why. I'd like them probably, but
I've played like Monster Hunter back on like the PSP. I wasn't really interested. And then I played it on the PS4 because it came with a PlayStation Plus collection kind of thing. Right. So I was like, I'm gonna try. And then I still wasn't even interested too much in that one either. Right. The series probably just isn't for me. But Resident Evil 4 on the Oculus VR, they're just doing everything they can with this series, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys,
I'm guessing that
VR
doesn't mean
now.
The remake. This is just like regular Resident Evil 4 on VR, by the sounds of it.
Probably, because if it was the remake, they would have probably, they probably would have been a little bit different. Since the game originally supported it. Yeah, basically, it says like this is a port, but they are still working on a remake, right?
As far as I know, I heard it was in development hell a little bit, but I haven't been keeping up with it. I played Resident Evil 2 and 3. I think both of them the day they came out. I could not care less about the Resident Evil 4 remaster. It's just to me, it's like, yes, I get the game's like, 20 years old now, but I just played through it recently, and it still holds up pretty well. I forget exactly what my issues with it were, but they were like minor. For a 20-year-old game, I remember there was like, okay, this is kind of dated. But like for the most part, it's still great. I would rather see Code Veronica get remastered before 4. That needs
Code
way
Veronica
worse.
Was technically supposed to be Resident Evil 3, but right. They I forgot why, but they changed it and made Nemesis 3 instead. Right. Nemesis, I think, was supposed to be a spinoff or not even exist or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It was weird, you know?
Or like a Resident Evil 0 remaster, for that matter, before 4 gets one.
Oh, yeah, 0. Zero had a few issues with it that they definitely could fix in a remake or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. And it did release before. It released shortly before 4, didn't it? Like a year or so before?
I don't remember. I just know it was GameCube exclusive along with Resident Evil 4 for like a bit. Before they all just went on every console anyway.
Yeah, I just checked. Resident Evil 0 released in 2002. Resident Evil 4 released in 2005.
Oh, wow. Was that?
I didn't know it was that.
I didn't remember it being that. Wow. Okay.
I never played 4, so I didn't know it was 2005.
No. Oh, yeah.
4 was in 2003 or 4. I didn't know it was that. That's interesting. Okay.
I might not have gotten my GameCube till like 04, 05 anyway, so that might be why I didn't really think about it.
It's a pretty big gap. Because part 3, released in 98, didn't it?
98, 99.
99, okay. Yeah, it released in 99, and then part 4 in 2005. Yeah. But, I mean, in between 3 and 4, they had 0 and Code Veronica. So, and I think they might have released one of like their spinoffs, another spinoff too, maybe. But that explains it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Don't know
agree.
what else they might have to announce though.
Yeah, I agree. Resident Evil 1 remaster doesn't need another remaster unless they do it like perfectly again, which I don't have faith in them doing.
Yeah. That wraps up Monday. Then Tuesday is Nintendo's E3 2021 Direct. Nintendo.
And that's just Nintendo being Nintendo. They'll probably announce that Donkey Kong game for the 40th anniversary.
Oh, it's the 40th anniversary already?
I think
No
it
way.
is this year. I know that
let me check.
I know it's close. And I was reading something about the team that made Super Mario Odyssey making the new Donkey Kong game, so that could be good.
Donkey Kong hits its 40th anniversary in 2021. Wow, I didn't know it was already. I thought like they had a few more years to go. So the first Donkey Kong game was in 81?
I guess so.
Wow, I thought it might have been like
Fella feel old.
85.
Yeah. Mario was 85.
I thought it was like 80. Wait, but Mario was for Donkey Kong though. No?
I'm sorry. I meant like Mario Brothers. That's what I meant. My mistake.
Okay.
Like Super Mario Brothers. Because there was even like regular Mario Brothers, like, I don't know, 82? 83?
Yeah, the first Super Mario Brothers was 1985.
Yeah.
I don't know how they classify it, like Super Mario Brothers and then regular Mario, and then I'm like, they need to make Ultra Mario, Mega Mario. Right. It's like freaking, it'd be like Digimon already. It's like, it's confusing. But I'm trying to find out when the very first ever Mario game released in. Oh, okay. The first one was Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
apparently.
Jump,
I mean, does that count though? Because it's Mario. Well,
ish.
Shouldn't that be the 40th Mario anniversary then? That's just confusing.
I get what you're saying.
I mean, they kind of took the Jumpman dude and turned him into Mario, I guess. So that's probably why.
Like he was kind of prototype Mario.
Yeah, I guess that's why they like consider it like a separate thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder what Nintendo's gonna have.
That's probably like the main thing. Unless they're gonna be like, here's a better Switch.
Well, that might be the case. Remember, for about 2 years or so, there's been rumors of a new Switch model. They released the Lite like 2 years ago or something like that.
Yep.
And then they also released that the updated model of the regular one that had like better battery life and everything. Oh, which is that is something that I can't stand. They did that like a few months after I bought my Switch. They announced, the new model of the Switch has better battery life, and I was like,
that sucks.
Well, thanks. Because I hate the Switch battery life. If it had better battery life, I'd play it more. Because just when I'm getting in, I'm like, I look at it, 50% battery. I'm like, I've only been playing for like an hour. What?
Right.
I feel like, taking it on planes, it's just like, oh, freaking dead. Okay, before you even land. But
while saying the Donkey Kong game,
that is a rumor though,
being released exclusively for 2 weeks. Yeah, probably for the anniversary.
Oh, really? On the Switch, I'm sure. Yeah, freaking. Wait, is it gonna be like one of those? Is it gonna be like a Donkey Kong Country kind of game, or like one of the original Donkey Kong where you're like doing the 2D thing?
I think it'll be more like Donkey Kong 64 kind of style. Like, it's supposed to be like Mario Odyssey, but Donkey Kong.
It's like a brand new, like an actual brand new game, not like a remake or anything.
Yeah. But like that being said, I would love to see like, how there was like Super Mario 35 if they did like a Donkey Kong Country 40. I'd love to see that. That
would be cool. Yeah. I would like a brand new Donkey Kong game. I would be into that. I haven't played a Donkey Kong game in years.
Oh, they hold up. They didn't really make much of a splash, but like the ukulele games, the Impossible Lair is like a side scroller. It does have that Donkey Kong feel to it. It's not like there's clearly a different feel, but like it feels more like Donkey Kong Country than Ukulele 1 felt like Banjo-Kazooie. Like I feel like it just
I played Ukulele
2D better. I played some of
I played
ukulele.
the first ukulele. I I played the first one, but that was about it.
Second one's better.
The second one,
First one was just so
Impossible Lair.
painfully generic.
Hmm. Okay. I never finished the first one. I got really close, but I kind of just stopped. It was very similar to Banjo Kazooie, almost like kind of just ridiculously so, though.
Donkey Kong Country Anniversary in 3. What? Would that be 30? 30th anniversary?
Yeah, I believe so. Donkey Kong Country came out for the Super Nintendo,
Right.
I think in like 92. No, not 92, like 94. Let me just check for
Something like
sure.
that.
Donkey Kong Country, 94.
Yeah, so
Yep.
94, 95, 96, I guess. Good God, man.
Wow. Okay.
How old
Nintendo's
am I?
currently
God
confirmed lineup for Nintendo Switch includes Mario Golf Super Rush, Project Triangle Strategy, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Splatoon 3, Metroid Prime 4, and a sequel to The Legend of Zelda The Breath of the Wild.
Oh, they're actually going to
wow.
talk about Metroid Prime 4.
They might. It says that's what their lineup is for new games, but I don't know if they're going to discuss that stuff for certainly or not. But I would assume they would, since this stuff is already confirmed.
Yeah,
Maybe they just have more information about it.
I thought they were just ignoring Metroid for some reason.
Yeah, apparently they're still working on 4.
I mean, there's definitely a fan base for the Metroid Prime games, so something about them just like I was a late bloomer with Metroid anyway, but something about the Prime games just I saw a gameplay of the first one and something about the graphics just makes me sleepy.
For Prime?
Yeah, like I think it's just the fidelity mixed with like the in-game lighting, it just hits me in such a way it just puts me to bed. Some games do that. It's like, okay, bedtime.
I wasn't interested in a first-person version of it, honestly, because I just was so used to the 2D side-scroller ones. I would like them to go back to doing that, even if they have to release them on the Switch. I'll take it, because Metroid, at least the 2D ones, like top 10 series for me, like probably.
Well, there was like this push at one point where it's like, oh, every game has to be 3D now. You can't just make a better graphics 2D game. Everything has to be 3D. Like even Mega Man tried to go 3D. No, just don't.
Well, I mean, the Mega Man Legends was good. Mega Man Legends was a good one, though.
That's fine to have as like a spin-off or whatever, but then like Mega Man X7 is more what I'm referring to.
Oh, yeah, Mega Man X7. I was like, what? That's like the least favorite one in the X series, I think, is 7.
Between that and 6, they're like neck and neck. Depends who you ask.
Close, yeah.
I hate 7 more.
And that's when they introduced a new character, Axel, and everything, and it was just like, what?
I don't even have a huge issue with Axel. I just did not like 7. It's the only game in the main... the more I play 6, the more I dislike it. But like other than that, I like the rest of them.
I didn't really dislike 6. I mean, like 2 or 3 of the boss fights are kind of freaking ridiculous, I feel like. But
I think that's more it with me. Because I remember when I first played through it back in the day, I liked it just fine. But when I streamed it, I was going to go, like the gate fight, I was going to lose my mind.
Oh my god. Yeah, the fight with Gate, the fight with Hymax was kind of freaking annoying too, honestly. Just
the boss. The one where it's like, oh, you have to hit him with like a charge shot and then this other attack.
Yeah, you hit him. I think you hit him with a charge shot and then hit him with like a special weapon.
Because obviously you do that. Annoying.
Like the boss fights in 6, I think were, for me, the boss fights are what dragged it down because half of them were just so like. Vile says X6 was rushed. Yeah,
for sure it was.
The boss fights I feel like aren't balanced. Like that's one of the only Mega Man games or in the X series in particular where like the boss fights are actually killing me. I'm like, as much as I play Mega Man, I'm getting killed by bosses. Really? Okay. You know, you're not the problem really like 4 and 5 and whatnot. Oh man! After Nintendo apparently is Bandai Namco has an E3 presentation.
The hell are they
Okay.
gonna release?
I don't know.
What are they even up to these days? Like they
Hell.
already released. They just released today the new Kakarot DLC, which like I
Okay.
can't imagine that would be on E3. But like outside of that, like they're not going to release another Soul Calibur. If we ever get another one, it's not going to be for years. So like I
Oh
don't even
man.
know what else they do really.
Don't forget the stressful DNA nightmare boss fight.
Oh,
Wait, which one are you referring to?
is that the?
Dynamo?
Or is that like the
Oh,
block demon thing? Am I thinking the right enemy?
Shadow Devil or whatever. I forgot what it's called. Yellow Devil or something.
I can't imagine there'll be a new DBZ game. I wouldn't be against it, but
Yeah, I didn't play Kakarot
I'd be
yet, but they
surprised.
might. That'd be cool.
But I mean, I guess it's been out a while now. I just was.
Well, Bandai Namco is behind quite a few series: Dark Souls, Ace Combat, freaking God Eater,
Did they have anything to do with Elden Ring?
Sword Art Online. Yeah, I believe they are the developer or publisher for Elden Ring. I believe.
Then I'm sure there'll be something to do with that.
I think they're Bandai Namco is the publisher behind Elden Ring.
So
So it
yeah,
might have news about that game. I heard people are really looking forward to it. It's going to be on the PS4, the Xbox One, and PC. Cool. Okay.
yeah, square-shaped DNA nightmare thing. Yeah, it's like two squares, I think, or it turns into two squares at some point.
That thing. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Yellow Devil or something like that from like Mega Man. I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah, no, that was nightmare fuel. Like legit, I couldn't stand that boss fight. I think that was the first boss you fight in the final stages. That was the first one, I think, right, or the second.
I can't
And
even remember.
even getting through that stage was annoying. You either had to use the shadow armor, so like
Right.
you can walk on spikes and be on the ceiling, which made it easy. But then fighting the boss with the shadow armor, you can't use special weapons, so that made it a freaking challenge.
Right.
Or you had to use like the blade armor, is it called? I think the blade armor, and then like use the ice blocks, I think, to like
Yep.
get up and travel through to the top because it was one of those vertical stages.
Right.
That was stupid.
That was just
They didn't
outright.
have
Like Mega Man's had its troll moments, but that's like a whole nother level.
yeah,
Where
that's
it's like,
kind of
no, you
ridiculous.
need this. It's not optional armor. You need one of them. They're just trying to turn people off from Mega Man at that point, I feel like. Inafune, get out of here. We don't like you anymore. We're going to cancel all your games. We're not going to make Mega Man Universe, which was basically Mario Maker before Mario Maker was a thing. We're going to cancel that. We're going to not let you have a Mega Man Metroid Prime type of game. We're going to cancel that too. You're not going to get Legends 3. Get out, like... I don't know what Inafune did to piss off Capcom so bad.
Yeah, seriously. Wow, that's ridiculous.
I'm convinced the only reason they made Mega Man 11 was to be like, see, we can make a game better than Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, I don't know what they were up to, honestly. But Bandai Namco is probably going to have news probably about Elden Ring. That's like, I think, the thing people are looking forward to rather the most at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe, oh no. I was going to say maybe Dragon Ball Z, maybe Sword Art Online, but
I mean, I'd be okay. Like, I keep saying that I would like to see, like, a Kakarot-styled game after the original Dragon Ball. I think if they did that right, it could be really good.
also it might be an announcement of a remaster or a remake. I keep forgetting about that, of like some older game. That's possible too.
Yeah, they did do other stuff. I tend to
Or
forget.
even Hell DLC again.
Because were they like Tekken? Did they also do Tekken?
Damn, I don't. Let me see.
Because when was the last time we got a Tekken?
The last Tekken was Tekken 7. That was 2017, it says.
Oh,
wow.
Might get another Tekken.
It's the best-selling franchise is Tekken.
Oh, really?
Wow. Okay.
I shouldn't be that surprised. But I kind of am.
Wow. I didn't know they
I'm
Had
just
the rights to so many franchises, actually.
I'm just so partial
Pac-Man,
to Oh, of course. I should have known that.
Xenosaga.
Yes.
Oh wow, okay. Oh, the Tales series, Tales
Oh,
of.
right, of course.
Damn, they got more
How
than
the
I
hell
freaking
is
thought.
Tekken
Honestly,
sold more than the Tales series? That's crazy.
it
Just from
says
sheer...
Tekken is their best-selling franchise with over 40 million copies across multiple platforms.
God, I'm shocked.
Wow.
That just from sheer volumes of Tales games, I'm surprised it's good
And
for them with
Pac-Man is the
Tekken.
highest-grossing franchise.
That I believe.
Wow. Okay, I guess crazy too. It's all those arcades.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty crazy. But
They won't get a new Tekken until they finish all their seasons of fighters.
oh, and they also have what's it called? Digimon.
Oh, they're Digimon?
Digimon. Yep.
Oh.
Digimon. Bandai Namco. The last game was Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. That was 2018. Maybe they might announce another Digimon game. Who knows?
Maybe.
I haven't played one in years.
I've never played one. I totally alienated like most monster collecting games growing up. The only one I played at all was like Azure Dreams. That's like it. And the odd Dragon Quest where you could collect monsters.
Dragon Quest. Oh wait, no, you said. Oh wait, you said Azure Dreams. I played. I definitely played Azure Dreams on the PlayStation 1. That was pretty good. I rented it.
I really
that was
liked
my first experience with a roguelike game, I believe.
I would have experienced like the Lufia 2 Super Nintendo, like Ancient Cave as a roguelike before that, but that would have been the one that I spent the most time with, Azure Dreams. I have a soft spot for games like that.
I liked collecting the monsters, and it has a place right here where it's nostalgic, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like you got to get to like the goal was to like get to the top of the tower or something like that. Yep. Like,
and
I never beat it, of course, because it was just ridiculous.
Hard to beat.
Freaking long.
Oh yeah.
Since I had only rented it, I never finished it. Like, but it was pretty cool though.
I rented it a ton, but like what I would always do is I would play it until I get like all the story stuff done. And then I'd still be trying to get to the top of the tower and I couldn't, so I'd just be like, well, I'm bored now. I did all the story related stuff. I can't get to the top of the tower, well, I'll just play it again later, and then I'd rent it again and try again and not get to the... Eventually I cheated my way up to the top of the Game Shark.
Damn.
But like...
It's really time consuming, huh?
Yeah, it's rough. And then I streamed it a few years back, and I didn't beat it then either. Because it was one part I started to play it, like, right when one of the times that I got burned out. And, like, I was having some sort of... What the hell happened? Because I remember I was playing games... I think what happened was I was using one particular type of PlayStation emulator, and then I switched to a different one. And because I switched to the different one, that was, like, less intense... Like less of like a, what do you call, like a CPU load on the computer or whatever. Like I couldn't switch the save file over to it, so I didn't continue playing. I think that's why I stopped.
Damn. Jeez, man.
I need to actually like beat it. Just to say, like I have it completed on my channel, but I would have to, if I were to do that, I think I'd start over and try to get more or less where I was, but I don't know when I'm ever gonna have the time for that.
How many floors did I have?
It had 40.
Was it like 99 or 100?
40.
40? Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
Some games like that have like 99, 100 floors, but that one only...
It's nuts.
I'd say only has 40, but once you get to like level 30, stuff just starts like 1-2-shotting you. Like your monsters have to be so busted. Because you always reset to level 1. So, like, either you have to get, you know, like, level 99 armor and, like, a weapon. Or just survive. And then still be able to fight the boss at the top.
Games like that are... I've never really been into roguelikes, honestly, too much. But that was, like, the first one I played.
I get it.
But... It's crazy. It's like damn near the predecessor to like all these ones you see out nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, like what's that really popular one that came out like 2 or 3 years ago? I think I forgot.
I'm not sure, but like
It was touted for being pretty difficult and like pretty good. I forgot what it's called though.
The was that Hades?
That is one of the really popular ones. I forgot. Is that a roguelike too?
I
Someone
think,
just
I think it's
recommended
a
me Hades the other
roguelike,
day.
but not like how Azure Dreams is a roguelike. I think it's like structured a little differently. Like it's not so
Oh, that is one of them.
like chess styled. It's more like free roam, I think.
No, yeah, that is one of them. But there was another one. I forgot what it was called though.
I'm not sure. And
It
then
might,
there's all the mystery dungeon games, like Pokemon Mystery
Oh,
Dungeon.
I played Pokemon Mystery Dungeon like on the Game Boy Advance. I think like years ago, like the very first one they made, like blue or red or something like that.
Yeah,
And I was just like, oh, this is really different.
they're
But,
similar.
Yeah, besides that, those are the only ones I really played as far as roguelikes go. I'd say Ultra Dreams, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, stuff
They're
like that.
kind of
Pretty much.
like with Mystery Dungeon games in particular. If you've played one, you've played them all to a degree. Like they all have the same like tendencies to them. It's like, oh, they all have like these kinds of traps, and like they're the kind of game that like the more experienced you are in the style of game, the better you are, more so than like straight grinding in like the games themselves. Like yes, you do have to grind, but a lot of it's like, oh, I don't want to step on this because it'll rust my weapons. Oh, I know to look for traps, so just after a while you just kind of get used to the bullshit that they put you through.
Oh man,
Like, oh, this enemy eats my weapon, great. So always avoid them.
this is crazy. Last but not least, they have the E3 2021 awards show that finishes it off Tuesday night after Bandai Namco. The awards show.
I didn't know they even had an award show.
Me neither. That's crazy. Who did they give?
The Last of Us Part 2.
That won Game of the Year, didn't it? Like last year or something?
It won like everything. It was a meme for a bit.
Everything on display. Oh wow. Okay. The awards shows top honors will go to the most anticipated game overall, with selections given to the most anticipated games of certain publishers and developers. The winners will be announced on June 15th, the final day of E3 broadcast. And of course, it's going to be available live to watch on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and E3's own website and app. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I never really watch E3 live usually,
Me neither.
but if I'm around for it and I remember and I don't have anything to do, then I might do it. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, if I think of it and have exactly zero to do. Otherwise, I'll just kind of hear secondhand of the highlights.
Yeah, exactly. The highlights, check them out on YouTube later or something like that, or see an article that someone wrote about it, or maybe someone just reach out to me, send me a text or a link. I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. But outside of that, I'm like, nah, not really, Because a lot of announcements really just aren't for me, I guess.
Right.
The games I'm really interested in, pretty specific. It's not like everything. So
Right. Well, it's like what's
I hope
Square doing?
more people for the new God of War. Yeah, me too. But who would be making that announcement? I mean,
That's Sony, isn't it?
It says neither Sony or Electronic Arts have E3 week events planned.
Well,
So yeah, Sony's not going to be there, or EA. But it says EA has their own event scheduled for Thursday, July 22nd. So yeah, no PlayStation news. That's interesting because Xbox and Bethesda are doing one, and then Nintendo is doing Nintendo Direct again. Surprised.
yeah.
I don't know what Sony has up their sleeves, like why they're not going to be there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially if Xbox and Nintendo,
They're just
and then
like,
having a whole PC one.
Square just announced some Final Fantasy stuff. Close enough.
Yeah, it's like, Square does a whole bunch of games, and they're going to be PS4 games anyway, or PS5. So it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
That works.
Except Project Triangle, which I think is Square.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. I don't know if it's going to be a Square Enix thing or if Nintendo is going to have it on the Direct. You know?
I imagine it'll be like Nintendo is going to want to be like, no, this is ours. Get out of here, Sony.
Yeah, it's supposed to be out next year. You know? So I'm curious.
There's some hype. There's some pretty serious hype for that. I don't know
Project
if I'll
Triangle?
yeah, like I don't know if I'll play it day one, but like I'll certainly keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it looks to be something. It looks similar to Octopath Traveler, I believe, right? And like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Right.
That's probably something up my alley, I'd say. Yeah. I wonder how it's going to go.
Probably well enough.
Certain things, it's like when you see Square Enix, it's just kind of like, 9 out of 10 times, you kind of just like, oh, well, they do pretty good.
Well, baseline probably like it okay at worst.
Yeah. Yeah, at worst, it's like, oh, it's pretty cool. At best, it's like, oh, this is another one of my favorite games. Like,
right.
Okay, good. That's one of the few companies I haven't seen a whole bunch of issues with when it comes to the quality of their games, especially like when it comes to bugs and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, they're generally not too buggy, if anything.
Yeah.
And
it seems like
they're always cream of the crop. If
it
that's
seems
important.
like the company got the most issues with, like, for the past, 5 years at least, is like EA, Ubisoft.
Bethesda.
EA, Ubisoft, like, back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And yeah, Bethesda, I think, over, what game was it? Fallout 4, not 4, 69, was it? 76, yeah. I forgot what number it was. Yeah, Fallout 74, 76.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember what number it was. It's just a random number. I feel like it. Yeah.
What happened to Fallout 5 to 75, anyways?
Yeah, I was like, why is it 76? There has to be some kind of purpose.
If I played the games, it might make sense. But...
Oh, the issue, yeah, the battery life. Yeah, that was my problem with it. Definitely an issue. Why I haven't purchased a Switch yet, besides their backwards anti-consumer decisions. Yeah. If the Switch had better battery life, I would rate it much higher. Because battery life for a portable device, even though they say, it's half portable, it's hybrid, still needs better battery life.
Agreed.
That's
Nintendo's usually pretty good about their battery life, aren't they?
I use it on the rare occasion I'm on a plane. If I'm on a plane, which I don't travel often, I use it. If I'm traveling and I'm not driving, which is freaking extremely rare, then I'll be using it. But because I don't like playing docked. I feel like it's a mobile device. To me, it's like the 3DS, just bigger and higher quality. But the battery life, even the new 3DS, I didn't like the battery life. I don't know. That's just one thing I didn't like the Nintendo handhelds. I feel like they needed better battery life. At least 3DS and the Switch.
I was always under the impression their battery life was okay, but I could just be wrong about that. I don't really have anything else to compare it to. Because I never had a PSP or a Vita.
The PSP and the Switch. I mean, PSP and the Vita, and I feel like the battery life on those two was just better. But and I feel like graphically they were a bit better as well.
Yeah.
Like game selection, I believe 3DS did pretty good. Or the Nintendo the Nintendo handhelds have a lot of game choices.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of my favorite franchises.
Well, Nintendo kind of had a stranglehold on the portable market for the longest time. I'm kind of surprised Sony did as well as they did with their portable.
1976 is the year the Vault Dwellers were first introduced to the surface after the nuclear apocalypse back in the 50s. Okay, I figured Fallout 76 had to do with the year, but I just don't know Fallout lore, so I didn't know what happened exactly. So, okay, that makes sense. So it kind of takes place beforehand, I guess. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I never played any Fallout games. I watched a friend play Fallout 3, I think on the... Which one was the one on the Xbox 360? Was that Fallout 3?
Probably.
Yeah.
New Vegas Fallout was also on the 360.
Okay. Yeah, it was definitely Fallout 3 then. That one was I watched him play it for a few minutes or something like that, and I was like, it's okay, but nothing wasn't really up my alley. I feel like there's not many Western RPGs that I really like, except for
I
Mass
feel
Effect.
the same way. I think that's why I shied away from Mass Effect for as long as I did. And then, like I've said before, like I tried to play it, and then my Xbox decided to die like 5 minutes into that playthrough, so I just was like, fine.
Seriously. I don't know. I heard the best Fallout is New Vegas.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I've heard 3. New Vegas, 4, something like that. Basically, is what I typically hear. 76, I hear like the worst. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I hear it's
there.
better, but like the damage has been done.
Maybe they're announced Fallout 5 or something like that, like Xbox
7.
exclusive or something. 77.
You will
Just
play
gonna
our
start over from
MMO Fallout game,
there.
or else.
So one of these is gonna work. Oh wow! I didn't know Project Triangle Strategy has a demo out for the Switch.
Yep.
Since when?
It's been
You
out
played
for
it?
a while. No, I didn't think to play it. I did know it existed. I'm sure
I did not know it
I'm
had.
sure I heard Fade talking about it.
Wow. I didn't know I had a demo yet. I mean, I just first heard about this game just a few months ago, actually, like the beginning of the year.
It's pretty new, anyway. Like I don't think it was announced for the first. Like, wasn't it just a few months ago? It was pretty recently announced. Like I think since the podcast started, it was announced.
Apparently, the demo came out in February. It says.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so, yeah.
okay.
That's that.
I'm gonna grab my Switch and download it so I can check it out later.
Yeah, that'd probably be worth jamming through some night. Project Triangle demo.
Definitely, it looks very reminiscent of Final Fantasy Tactics, and then the graphic style is kind of similar to that too, and kind of similar to Octopath Traveler and whatnot. But I want a sequel to Octopath Traveler. I would like them to announce that, not like the mobile whatever they announced, recently, but like an actual sequel for the Switch.
I think they're gonna wait until like they re-release the Saga Front 2 remaster and whatever else they do. Then they'll probably be like, "Here's another Octopath Traveler." Now that you bought all of our other games that are like Octopath Traveler. Although if they're remaking Unlimited Saga, I don't know. I don't know if I can promise I'll play that one. Saga Frontier 2, I definitely will. Unlimited Saga, I don't know.
Unlimited Saga was the one for the PS2, right?
Yep. I hated it. I don't know what it was. I hated it so much. But I played it for like 5 minutes. And I hated it. I guess a lot of other people
rented it, played it, and I never finished it, never went and bought it, never rented it again. Just kind of left it like that. I thought it would be more maybe like Saga Frontier 2, and it wasn't.
No. I don't even remember specifically what I hated about it, just that I hated it.
Ironically, New Vegas was not made by the main, that is the team, but by Obsidian. They went on to make a successor that recently announced New Worlds, I think.
Yeah. Something like that.
Huh. Okay. New Worlds, is that a new Fallout game, or is that a whole separate IP?
New Worlds, Outer Worlds. I know what you're talking about. I've seen someone play it.
I'm curious about the Fire Emblem series, but there's so much to collect. Fire Emblem is a great series. It's one of my favorites, especially like Nintendo games.
Yeah.
I love Fire Emblem. I played 3 houses, front to back, side to side, up to down, freaking left to right, everything you can think of. Like even the DLC I bought and played through that too. And I did all 4 routes. It took me a total of like 200 hours, I believe, like to do all that stuff. Freaking crazy.
I played a little bit of the first one that was like on the NES. And like I wasn't sold on it at first, but then I was like on the battlefield or whatever, wherever you travel, and I'm like, oh, I can actually go into towns and stuff too, or go into houses too. This is cool. And then I haven't gotten back to it, but eventually I'm gonna want to stream it.
First Fire Emblem?
Yeah, it's on the Switch now. I forget the subtitle.
Yeah, man, they've really upscaled like freaking damn near everything. It's pretty good. I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to a new one because I've played almost every single Fire Emblem game that's been released in the West.
That's quite.
We haven't gotten
now.
Every single one,
isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like 7, 8.
I think there might be only 2 I haven't played yet. Maybe. Oh, I didn't play. that one thing they did on the 3DS where they released 3 different like games and they were all just like the story from a different perspective or whatever.
Oh, I didn't
like
know that.
that was Fates. That was they had Awakening no, Fire Emblem Fates, Birthright, Conquest, and Revelation. I never played those.
Okay.
But they were all the same game but different things.
Different perspective. Okay.
Yeah, you play from different nations or countries or whatever the hell they were at war and stuff like that. But same thing basically.
That could be interesting. Yeah, Outer Worlds. Super Robot Wars. I've definitely heard that name, but I've never played them.
Am I a fan of Super Robot Wars? I don't really. Nah, I never heard of it. Well, no, I've heard of the series. I've never played one at all, though. But the name rings a bell. Bandai Namco. Okay, that's cool. 30th anniversary event in July. That's cool. Maybe they might announce a remaster or a remake or something along those lines. They have something like the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5. Maybe I can check it out. That's cool. Whenever I think of Robot Wars or robots in general, I just freaking out how he jumped to Gundam.
Yeah, it's easy to kind of make that leap.
I only played freaking 2. There's only 2 Gundam games I've played. I played like this fighting game they had for it. That was on the PlayStation 1, and then I played like this PlayStation 2 game they had. It was where you were actually like in the mechs and you had to like travel around and fight. I forgot what it was called though. There's so many.
I think I played like
the series,
a super
franchise.
like an emulator version of like a Super Nintendo fighting Gundam Wing game or something. Like it was something really basic that I played for like a minute. That's like the only Gundam game I've ever played.
It's a huge series. It's a huge franchise between like everything you
everything?
have, all the series, all the games, action figures, everything.
Were we just talking about this the other day? How it's like it actually debuted like in the 70s. It was like 79 or something. It came out. Gundam.
Yeah, it was like the late 70s, I believe, was the first one, and I'm just like, that's a long freaking time. They're gonna be doing like a 50-year anniversary kind of thing. Like it feels like
sooner and later.
Yeah. Tactical RPG series involving giant mechs from different anime. Code Geass appeared in the newest one. Oh, Code Geass is a great freaking anime. Probably one of my top 10 anime series ever. Like, without a doubt. I love that freaking show.
If I was more into anime, the series would probably, like, appeal to me more greatly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. From different series. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Wow. I never heard of a game. Well, the only game I can think of that does that is like freaking Super Smash Brothers, where there's characters from like different series, put in the one game.
Well, then they have like what was it? Like some Shonen Jump sort of thing.
Like that
have like
game,
One
right?
Piece characters, but then like you can be Vegeta and like
that was
more characters than I know of.
I have it. I don't remember what it was called. Wait, crap. I'm trying to find the name for it. Crap. There was that one that was available on the Vita, and it was like basically like a fighting game kind of, and there was so many different like anime characters you could play as. I just don't remember what the hell it was called. But you might be talking about Jump Force. Further?
Yeah, like is Jump Force like a separate thing?
I think it's a different game. It's a crossover game. They have like Dragon Ball Z characters, One Piece, Naruto characters, Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, and like a few other anime as well. I never played Jump Force though. Never played one. Fighting games isn't really my thing typically.
Right. Yeah, like a Smash and Soul Calibur, even like those, I don't play them really anymore. If I wasn't streaming, I'd probably play them more. But for whatever sense that makes. I think I'd
Soul
play
Calibur,
these games more. But
I played Smash. I played most of them at some point. But fighting games overall have never really been my thing.
I mean, I get that. Like, sometimes it's like, I'm over at someone's house, oh, we're all playing Dead or Alive 4, do you want to play? Yeah, sure, fine. If we're paying the controller around, sure. But, like, I don't go out of my way for most, like, Soul Calibur's the only one, really. And Smash Brothers. But like I said, I barely touched either. Like, I couldn't even tell you where my copy of Smash Ultimate is right now.
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
I have Smash Bros. I played it. I played it Ultimate. I played like a few times, and then I put it back in my closet. You know,
it's Smash. I don't know. Just don't feel like playing it in my spare time. Don't want to stream it for whatever reason. So
yeah, exactly.
Nothing against it. It just, wrong place, wrong time for me, I guess.
Oh, you could download it using a Singapore account on the PlayStation Store. Okay, I see. So we never got it in the US. Okay, that explains it.
It's funny how you can do that on the PS4. It's like, yeah, I live everywhere.
Yeah, seriously.
Games.
I have an account in the United States, Canada, the UK, Japan. Why not?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, I have a UK account just because when I played Nier Automata, my copy was a UK copy. So in order to play the DLC, I had to download the UK DLC. Because you try to download the American DLC and play it on a UK copy, it's like, what are you doing? What is this?
Yeah, seriously. Wow. Apparently this E3 award show thing is new from what I'm reading. Like they haven't done this in the past.
Yeah,
it says all new. And I'm just like, all right. I never heard of E3 having awards. But I'm like, I guess that's just a way for them to like say like, hey guys, come be on our show and maybe you're getting an award from us or whatever, you know. It's just that kind of stuff.
Well, it might just be kind of like a hustle to be like,
marketing.
Watch our show, damn it.
Marketing and advertising stuff, you know how it goes. Which might be interesting though. But yeah, that's the whole E3 lineup for freaking Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday when it completes on the 15th.
Yeah.
Next time, next time we go live, it'll be already Friday. So by then, we'll probably have all of the news from what went on with E3. So we'll be back again discussing it to see what hopefully maybe new IP, maybe it's a new remaster or remake, whatever announcement that they have though.
Curious to see if any of our predictions are actually come through.
Yeah, seriously. I would like for it to I would like for the Square Enix one. That's the one I would probably look forward to.
Yeah. That's all I really.
I might watch that if I'm. Yeah, I might be able to watch that one if I just remember. I would have to remind myself to do it because I never typically watch stuff live.
I will not think of it.
Yeah, seriously. Sometimes even when I want to, I just forget because I'm not used to like catching these shows live anymore, at all.
Unless it pops up in my recommended, like I just forget.
Yeah, or someone reminds me, then I'm like, all right, cool. But Square Enix, I would look out for. Maybe Nintendo E3, like the Nintendo Direct rather.
Mm-hmm.
But Xbox, not really, and Ubisoft, not really either.
Yeah.
Capcom, maybe actually too.
Yeah, Capcom's a wild card in all this. Though they probably won't announce anything I care about unless it's Mega Man or like
it might be
if they
Ace
really.
Attorney.
Yeah, I'd be fine with
Ace
that.
Attorney.
If they really wanted me to like melt into a puddle, they'd announce something Breath of Fire related, but that will not happen.
Yeah, might be Mega Man. It might be Ace Attorney. It might be Resident Evil. Might be What's their fighting game? Is Street Fighter Capcom or no? Yeah, right.
I'm sorry.
Is Street Fighter Capcom?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, it might be
Yeah, Street Fighter.
It might be Street Fighter. I feel like they haven't released a game in a while, so maybe they're mentioning something like that, like a new title or DLC or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it might be something related to Resident Evil, not a new title, but maybe like DLC for like 8 or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Oh, they're always scheming Resident Evil stuff. It's one of their biggest franchises for sure.
Oh, Resident Evil, Mega Man, and Street.
They have a lot of
Street Fighter,
blockbuster IPs.
Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Dead Rising.
Yeah.
They haven't released a Dead Rising game in a few years.
That was Inafune,
I mean, I don't know if
too.
I don't know if they put that series to rest completely or
Probably
not.
because Inafune ever had anything to do with it.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that whole deal is.
They hate him. I'm not really sure why either. I don't know if he was involved in all of them. But watch the Trunks DLC. It's worth the $20. Won't spoil. Can't wait for your live stream. Yeah, like I had half a mind to be like, maybe I should push that forward, but it's like, no, I'll just take my time with it. When I'm back streaming regularly again, it'll be the first thing I do.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, man.
New season of Fighters announced for Street Fighter 5. Oh, Vile, you're being facetious.
A new season of Fighters. Oh, wow. New season of Fighters announced for you. Okay. Man. All right. That was the Serenial podcast announcing freaking E3.
Yeah. Just kind of happened that way.
Yeah. I mean, hell, this is the thing that, I mean, what do you say? This is the thing for the year that video gamers in particular look forward to the most, as far as like events and shows and whatnot goes.
It's up there for sure. Like what even compares to E3 in that? Like some people are pretty like look forward to the Game Awards, but like I don't care about it all personally. I look forward to E3 more so. Game Awards, I don't care.
Yeah, is Game Awards really about new announcements too, though? I don't really watch it.
Really, it's more just like this was the best stuff of the year. Like there's probably like the odd announcement, but I wouldn't know. I never watch it. I didn't even know there's a Dead Rising 4. I thought there was only 3. Well, 4 might not have had anything to do with Inafune then.
I haven't the slightest idea, honestly. Dead Rising is a series I never actually got into, and I feel like maybe I should try.
I don't know why I never did, because I got the first one, but it was right around that time I wasn't playing a lot of games. And during that time, I also watched Dead Rising 2, which I liked the look of, but never played. It's a series I should probably circle back to and at least pick one to play. Shopping mall, zombie assaulting.
Game Awards are garbage since people are awarded only for blue check marks. Politics. Whenever money gets behind it, it's like it's advertising revenue and whatnot, you know? Like sponsorships, it's a lot that goes into it. I don't know. If they release Dead Rising's on what? Freaking PS3? Xbox 360?
I know it was on the 360 for sure. I think it was also on PS3. But maybe...
Oh, yeah, there are 4. Yeah, I just checked. And then there's also... Oh, wow.
What's the 4th one on?
Dead Rising 4, PS4 and Xbox One and PC.
Okay.
It came out a few years ago. I never played any of them, though. It said there is also, like, a remake of the original Dead Rising for the Wii.
Okay. For the Wii?
I never... Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop. What the hell?
On the Wii?
Yep. Wow.
Weird. Okay. I mean, I guess back when the Wii came out, they had all kinds of weird remasters. Like, they had Silent Hill remasters for some reason. It's the only one I can think of off the top of my head, but, like, kind of random for Nintendo.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't know. Dead Rising... Oh, Dead Rising 3 Xbox One launch title. Oh, wow, okay.
Remaster.
Yeah, there's a few remakes and re-releases here. It says if they put them on like PS4 or PS5, maybe I'll try them out, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know if they're up my style.
I mean, that's part of why it's like, okay, like as much as I might say, what do we need all these remasters for? Once a game gets like a few console generations back, it's like, how do you reasonably expect me to play this? Unless you re-release it in some fashion. Like if they were to be like, okay, we're gonna re-release 3 Dead Rising games on the PS4, I'd probably be like, well, I'll just grab them, sure. Unless they're there already, I don't know, I haven't looked. I do have Dead Rising 1 for 360.
Oh dang, they would have to port 3 over to the PlayStation then, since it's only on Xbox One right now. That's I don't know why. I don't know why game developers or publishers or whoever just does that. Make a game is for this console, this console, this console. Then they make a sequel. It's this console only, and then they go back to okay, these ones are available here. You make it more confusing for the consumer.
Well, it's weird when it's like someone like Capcom. But I mean, I guess they did it with Resident Evil originally, and
yeah, PlayStation, and then it's like, oh, the remake of Zero. I mean, the remake of 1 GameCube, 0 GameCube, 4 GameCube. Like, what the freaking hell was that? That was, you know what I mean? That was pretty different. And then it was back to okay, we're putting it on Xbox 360 now for like part 5. You know, and then 6 was like PS3 or Xbox 360, and
you can't expect someone other than like a hardcore gamer to get more than one console in a generation.
Yeah, especially to play like this specific series or two. It's just like that's a little bit much, you know. You're gonna have the disposable income to actually do that, and of course the time as well. But
right,
you know, but hell,
but
oh man, I am curious a little bit.
But yeah, I guess if Xbox was like, okay, Capcom, here's millions and millions of dollars, we want this exclusive. They're like, sure, happy to oblige. So I mean, I guess, but Microsoft with their deep pockets, but still.
Once again, money exchanges hands, and this is what happens. You know, like we get exclusivity, we got delays, we get everything. You know, it is business for them at the end of the day. I get it, but it's also entertainment for us and whatnot. It's a hobby.
Yep.
Yeah, but hell, we'll see. We're gonna see what freaking guesses we had that were correct, and hopefully some pleasant surprises. You know, hopefully it's not just all remakes and remasters and all that stuff and re-releases.
It's like, hey, here's something new.
Some new IPs to be interesting, and some sequels too that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
You know, unless they're bringing a series back from like years ago, that would be interesting too. You know, then go for it.
Because, like, as much of an old curmudgeon I am when it's like, oh, yeah, so Final Fantasy 16, because, like, I'm so familiar with the series, but, like, why not give me, this game 1 and just be an experience? Vile,
exactly.
Super stoked for Dying Light 2. Still haven't played the first one.
Exactly. I'm Final Fantasy 16 news. Final Fantasy 7 news is what I'm expecting from Square Enix. One of those two at least. And maybe some news about one of the remasters that they're working on or remakes from like one of the older JRPG series. Now that'd be good.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I think I just heard a news story recently about they're going to be a Final Fantasy game, annoyingly called Final Fantasy Origin, because there's already a Final Fantasy Origins in the PS1. But anyways, Final Fantasy Origin that I guess is going to be like Souls-like, which I'm curious to see how Square would handle that.
Naughty Dog is remaking Last of Us 1. I don't freaking know, man. I don't know what to tell you about that. I played Last of Us 1 on the PS4, that remastered. Pretty good. Never played part 2. Just heard too much negative about it and just didn't seem like I'd be interested in it, so I didn't pick it up.
Now
Last of Us 1 came with my Last of Us 1 came on PS4, so it kind of gave me some reason to play it.
Yeah. I heard 1 was good. But after all I heard about 2, it made me not want to play 1.
I still recommend 1, but, and I have the DLC because that came with it 2 for 1. That was pretty cool. But, yeah. Good old freaking June.
Yep.
We get E3. And then the Game Awards is like what, December, like the end of the year or something like that, I believe.
Or maybe even January. I forget.
Yeah, somewhere around there. But yeah, very good to see what these games are about. Freaking. Yeah. But what do you have? What do you have coming up next? Still working on Ace Attorney?
I'll be working on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for a while. I'm only like, how I'm doing it right now is like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, I'm uploading a Phoenix Wright. But then like Tuesday, Thursdays, I've been doing like hour-long streams because I do like that tag team live stream series. So like I'm just doing those in between to just space out the Phoenix Wright somewhat. So
that makes sense. That's good.
That's what I'll be. Excuse me. That's probably what I'll be up to for like the next month or so. Hoping that either like the final case of Phoenix Wright, I can stream it, or by the time I'm done that, I can stream Nier Automata because I want to play that again now.
Oh yeah, I still gotta pick up Nier.
I gotta pick up the other games to death.
I gotta get Nier Automata. I mean, I'm gonna get Automata, of course, but I gotta get Nier the remake or remastered of Replicant, I believe.
Yep.
I think as soon as I hit the sale, I think I'm gonna get it and just like go like stop whatever I'm playing and play it because I've been hearing a lot of good about it.
It's like it's worth like if you're gonna play Automata, like that Replicant's a good starting point. But like whatever you do, like don't feel compelled to get all the trophy stuff. It's a bit mind-numbing.
Yeah, I heard it's a bit time-consuming. I probably wouldn't do that. But as far as myself, I picked up Ratchet and Clank. I haven't installed. Didn't get a chance to play it yet.
Right on.
I'm probably gonna get to it tomorrow. Because honestly, I'm just not really feeling good right now. Like I'm probably just gonna hit the hay in like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna play it like first thing tomorrow, probably. Start on Ratchet and Clank and stream it too. So that's what I'm gonna be streaming. My Mass Effect 2 playthrough is gonna be paused for now, and I'll pick that back up like next another week or two, however long it takes me to beat through Ratchet and Clank at least one. Mm-hmm. I'm probably gonna get the Ratchet Platinum Trophy too, but I want to at least give it one good playthrough, like to see how it is. It's been getting great reviews. Like some people have been dang near saying it's like game of the year already, and we're only like halfway through roughly.
Nice.
So definitely looking forward to that. I'm glad I have it like installed and all that. This is the first game I pre-ordered in like a while. So that alone says something for me, honestly. I don't pre-order games too often usually.
Twitch?
I'll be streaming that I'll be streaming it on Twitch tomorrow. I'm gonna start streaming it on Twitch. Same time as usual, like probably in the evening, like Eastern Standard Time, maybe 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there, and I'll be streaming that. I might be streaming that actually every day until I beat it. It's not really a long game typically, so that shouldn't really take long at all. Ratchet and Clank games, like most platformers, they're not typically too long, but definitely one of my favorite series ever.
Yeah.
And Mass Effect 2 is my favorite series. It's the favorite of it's my favorite in the series too. Mass Effect 2 is slightly over 3 and 1, and over Andromeda as well. Being between the story, the characters, and the changes they made, like to the gameplay and whatnot, definitely improvement over 1. Nice. And the story was pretty A1. But outside of streaming Ratchet and Clank, then I'll be going back to Mass Effect 2, and then going to Mass Effect 3 probably to finish off the Legendary Edition and going through all the new DLC, and not the new, but new to me because I haven't played a DLC when I originally played the series. And besides that, just working on videos. I just released on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Animatic Entertainment.
Hey, Gonzo.
Going to be putting out a new one. Hey, Gonzo, how's it going, man? And I'm putting out a new video next week. I'm in the middle of working on a series aimed like towards content creators or about content creation in general, like live streaming, putting out videos, podcasts, the whole 9 yards, basically, like going from my experience with it, and like just recommendations or suggestions or advice that I would give to people that are like just starting out, that are new. I'm working on that series still, and I put out one of the first videos in it just yesterday. But that's what I'm going to be doing besides just streaming for the next week or two. Trying to get all the ideas. Like, I got them up here. Just got to flesh them all out.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
That's definitely the next thing to be looking forward to.
Good stuff. So yeah, I got that going on. I'm trying to think, like, what else am I even, like, because I got to do Automata, and then I'm going to be working through Phoenix Wright, but, like, I still also planned on playing, like, the Nocturne remaster, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, but, like, what, I forget now, but there was, like, no, it's, like, I might want to push ahead playing the Catherine remaster, speaking of remasters. Because there was, like, Full Body was released, I don't know, years ago now, but I'm kind of hankering that over Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne at the moment. So I might just switch the... like, just play that after now. Because Catherine's, like... It really took me by surprise back when I played it, because I'm like, oh, what's this? I think I looked at it and I was like, oh, Atlas made it, so I'm sure I'll like it. Oh, puzzle game? Okay, whatever, sure, I'll try it. Then I was like, wow, this game's amazing. I'm like, I
played the demo of Catherine. I still never played the whole thing, but it's another game that's like I might get around to later on. Yeah. Just haven't done it yet.
It's definitely a unique experience. I can't really think anything to compare it to. It's like a Persona puzzle game, basically.
Yeah, man. So many games, so little time sometimes, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. I've been saying on my channel that I was going to play Star Ocean 2 since 2017. Still haven't played it. On my channel. Played it years ago. But...
I got to get into that series eventually, too. I've heard a bit about it. Another JRPG series that's been going on for a little while. I just haven't started yet. Don't know where to, but...
I've only played only played 2 and 3.
I'll probably get the one available on the PS4. I know there's like a game or two available there and try it out and see how it goes and maybe play the other ones too.
Yeah.
But, hell, man. Freaking hell. Oh, 111 minutes. 111. Freaking make a wish. Freaking...
JPA.
It's time for us to freaking wrap.
Yeah.
What's up, JPA? It's time for us to freaking wrap up.
Yeah.
As always, guys, thanks for freaking joining, commenting, adding in your questions.
Yeah.
Freaking video games are like life, so never stop playing them.
Big time. We'll be back again, every Friday around this time. Do some gamer talk for, an hour or two or however long it goes.
Next Friday evening, we'll be covering like a little bit about what happened from E3, which is, like I said before, Saturday through Sunday, Saturday the 12th through Tuesday the 15th.
Right.
So we'll be covering over some of the, new games or, new announcements in general, anything that was interesting. And like be discussing that stuff pretty much next time.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Hopefully something's good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. There'll be something good to talk about. Well, as always, you can catch me over on my channel at MegaHarv on YouTube. It's pretty well the only place to find me.
And you can find me on Enigmatic Entertainment on YouTube. Also, my second channel, Enigma's Nerd Talk, aka ENT. Freaking subscribe to both. I post videos. I try to like have it balanced, a video here and a video there, so on and so forth. Have slightly different topics, but if you want to catch everything. Also on Twitch, of course, Enigmatic Entertainment. The name's the same. Different game. You know the deal. And we'll be back next Friday evening. As always, guys.
Yeah.